What lies beyond the Star Wars galaxy? Nobody knows for sure, but Ahsoka might be about to show us. Ahsoka's 5th episode is quite the journey, and it ends with the beginning of an even bigger one. After being knocked into the sea by Balin's skull at the end of episode 4, Ahsoka Tano finds herself in a mysterious Force realm, where she comes face to face with her old master, Anakin Skywalker. As Hera Syndulla searches the planet Cetos for her, Ahsoka revisits her tragic life story through a series of Clone Wars flashbacks.
I'm teaching you how to lead, how to survive, and to do that, you're going to have to fight.
Anakin pushes Ahsoka to her limits in the world between worlds, and even attacks her outright. But it seems that his aggression is all a kind of game, a way to help his old Padawan find some peace within herself. And sure enough, Ahsoka awakens from the ordeal with a powerful aura of serenity. She then quickly divines a way to pursue Morgan Elsbeth, Sabine Wren, and the others, even without a star map. This is because Cetos is home to a herd of Purrgil, the hyperspace-traveling space whales that took Ezra Bridger and Grand Admiral Thrawn away in Star Wars Rebels. At the end of Ahsoka Episode 5, Ahsoka uses the Force to convince a Purrgil through the Force to allow her and Hu Yang to dock their ship in its mouth. Tucked away inside, they set off through hyperspace, and we already have some clues as to where they might be going. As Ahsoka herself acknowledges to Hu Yang, she has no idea whether or not the Purrgil will actually take them to Sabine, Ezra, and Thrawn. Because there are only 3 episodes left, the writers don't have much time to play around in other places. But journeying through hyperspace isn't as simple as hopping from point A to point B. Prior to Ahsoka, many believed that Thrawn was simply hiding in some far corner of the Unknown Regions, an uncharted sector of the existing Star Wars galaxy. Notably, the ancient Sith planet of Exegol is located in the Unknown Regions, along with the remnants of the Empire that would later become the Final Order. If Ahsoka is to travel through that region of space on the way to Thrawn's galaxy, we could get a glimpse of what's been going on there. The Mandalorian Season 3 already established that the Shadow Council of the Imperial Remnant is waiting for Thrawn's return, hiding in the Unknown Regions until someone can bring him back. The Unknown Regions have barely been explored in canonical Star Wars stories, which is fitting given that they remain uncharted in universe. We know that Thrawn's species, the Chiss, also hails from the area, and that is quite different from most known sectors of the galaxy. But while the Unknown Regions are mysterious, even less is known about what lies beyond them. And Ahsoka's journey beyond the confines of the galaxy opens up a number of exciting opportunities. In canon, Ahsoka is the first major Star Wars story to voyage beyond the galaxy. However, the non-canon Legends timeline established some details of what lies beyond the Outer Rim. Most famously, the Yuuzhan Vong invaded from a neighboring galaxy in the EU's New Jedi Order, laying waste to beloved characters and whole planets. The Yuuzhan Vong were divisive at the time because they felt like such an intense departure from the usual tone and style of Star Wars. But that doesn't mean we won't see some influence in whatever Ahsoka finds out there. It's also worth noting that the canon Thrawn novels feature a similar race to the Yuuzhan Vong called the Grisk. They're not quite as horrifying or dangerous as the classic Legends villains, and they live in the Unknown Regions, not a separate galaxy. But there's a definite possibility that Thrawn's presence in Ahsoka could lead to a new version of the Yuuzhan Vong storyline, one that places the Grisk in their stead. The implications that Ahsoka's story holds for the greater Star Wars franchise are even more fascinating. Disney can't stay in the Skywalker saga forever. Eventually, new stories will have to be told, and many of them are likely to be completely divorced from the existing Star Wars narrative. After all, that's how you bring in new fans and keep the story going for younger generations. Because there's already so much diversity in the main Star Wars galaxy, a new one might not sound like a huge deal. But that's a galaxy with no Jedi, with no Sith, Republic, or Empire. It's a huge pool of possibilities just waiting to be tapped.
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
All in all, Ahsoka's journey into the great beyond could be the start of big new things for Star Wars.